There comes a moment in life when you have to make a choice to either let life defeat you or to rise above every challenge thrown your way. And I need you to hear me today. I don't lose, I win. No matter what happens, no matter how tough the storm, no matter how many times I've been knocked down, I don't stay down. I don't quit. I don't fold. Because every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is not the end of me. It is fuel, it is preparation, it is part of my journey to victory. You see, life will test you, it will shake you to your core, you will face rejection, you will hear no when you are praying for a yes, you will have doors shut in your face when all you want is just one opportunity. But you have to decide right there in that moment who you are going to be. Are you going to let that failure define you? Or are you going to stand up, straighten your back, lift your head and declare, I don't lose, I win. Winning doesn't always look like you think it should. Sometimes winning means learning. Sometimes winning means growing. Sometimes winning means walking away from the wrong people, the wrong situations, the wrong mindset. Winning is not about avoiding struggle, it's about how you handle it. It's about refusing to be defeated even when life tries to break you. When people talk about you, when they doubt you, when they laugh at your dreams, when they say you're not good enough, that's not a loss. That's proof that you're on the right path. Because the ones who win are the ones who refuse to be broken by the opinions of others. I don't lose, I win. Because I refuse to be a victim of my circumstances. I refuse to let pain define me. I refuse to let fear stop me. I refuse to let failure keep me from every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. What looks like a loss is just preparation for your next victory. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges in your path, moments that make you question if you are on the right track, moments that test your patience, your faith, your strength. It can feel like the ground beneath you is shaking, like everything you worked for is slipping through your fingers, like no matter how much effort you put in, the results are not showing up the way you imagined. But what if I told you that every single disappointment, every rejection, every so-called failure is not working against you, but working for you? What if the very thing you thought was breaking you was actually building you? What if that closed door was the exact thing needed to push you into something greater? When life seems to take something away from you, when you feel like you have lost an opportunity, a relationship, a dream, it is easy to fall into the trap of self-pity. It is easy to start questioning yourself, wondering if you are good enough, if you have what it takes, if maybe you were wrong about the path you chose. But understand this. The path to greatness is never without obstacles. The most successful people in the world, the most powerful leaders, the strongest warriors, none of them arrived at their destiny without first being tested. And every test, every trial, every moment of struggle was not the end of their story, but the beginning of their transformation. When you shift your perspective, when you stop seeing setbacks as defeats and start recognizing them as stepping stones, something incredible happens. You stop feeling sorry for yourself. You stop wasting time crying over what didn't go your way. You stop giving power to the things that didn't work out. Instead, you rise up with a new mindset, with a fresh determination, with a knowing deep inside you that if life closed one door, another is about to open. If one opportunity slipped away, it's because a better one is on the horizon. If you experienced loss, if you went through pain, If you were betrayed, rejected, overlooked, it is not a sign that you are losing. It is a sign that you are being prepared for something bigger than you can imagine. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go your way. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a business deal that fell through, a relationship that ended when you thought it would last forever. In the moment, it felt like failure. It felt like defeat. It felt like you were losing. But look back now. Look at where you are. Look at the lessons you gained, the strength you built, the wisdom you acquired. Would you be who you are today if everything had gone smoothly? Would you have developed the resilience, the drive, the fire inside you if you had never been challenged? The truth is, struggle creates strength. Pressure produces diamonds. Resistance builds muscle. The very things that feel like they are holding you back are actually the things that are pushing you forward. You have to stop looking at loss as the end of the road. It is not the end. It is a redirection. It is a setup. It is the universe shifting things in your favor even when you can't see it yet. Sometimes you don't understand why something happened until much later, but when you finally see the full picture, you realize that if you had gotten what you originally wanted, you would have been settling for something far less than what was meant for you. Every no is making room for a bigger yes. Every failure is setting the stage for an even greater success. Every heartbreak is preparing you for a love that is deeper, stronger, more aligned with your soul. You can't let temporary disappointments make you forget that you are destined for victory. You can't allow a difficult season to make you believe that your best days are behind you. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Just because you haven't seen the breakthrough doesn't mean it's not on its way. You have to hold on. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep believing that what is for you will not pass you. And when life knocks you down, when you face obstacles that seem too big to overcome, when you feel like giving up, you have to remind yourself that every great success story started with moments of doubt, moments of struggle, moments where it would have been easier to quit, but instead, the decision was made to keep going. You may be in a season of waiting. You may be facing challenges that seem unfair. You may be wondering why doors are closing, why things are taking longer than expected, why you are not seeing the results of your hard work, but I want you to trust the process. I want you to trust that every single thing you are going through is shaping you, strengthening you, molding you into the person you need to be in order to receive what is coming next. Sometimes we think we are ready for the blessing, but we are not. Sometimes we think we can handle the success, but we still have lessons to learn. The delay is not a denial. The struggle is not punishment, it is preparation. You were not put on this earth to live in defeat. You were not meant to spend your life feeling like a victim, wondering if you will ever rise again. You are a fighter. You are a survivor. You are stronger than you think, wiser than you know, more capable than you have ever imagined. And every time life challenges you, every time you face a mountain, every time you encounter resistance, you have to remind yourself, this is not happening to me, this is happening for me. This is not my downfall, this is my setup. This is not my loss, this is my preparation for victory. So let the disappointments come. Let the challenges rise. Let the setbacks unfold, because none of it will break you. None of it will stop you. None of it will define you. You are walking into your comeback season. You are stepping into a new chapter where every lesson, every hardship, every struggle is turning into the fuel that will propel you toward your destiny. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is in vain. Every loss is a lesson. Every rejection is protection. Every delay is divine alignment. What is coming is greater than what was lost, and your future is brighter than you can even begin to imagine. Winners don't dwell on failure. They use it as fuel to push forward with even greater determination. Life has a way of testing those who dare to dream, who dare to step outside of their comfort zone, who refuse to settle for an average existence. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how hard you work, or how much effort you put in. At some point, failure will come knocking at your door. You will face rejection. You will experience setbacks. You will have moments when you question whether you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. But the difference between those who win and those who stay stuck is not the absence of failure, but how they respond to it. Winners don't let failure define them. They don't sit in disappointment, replaying what went wrong over and over again in their minds. They don't allow one loss to make them forget the vision they are chasing. Instead, they take that failure, they take that setback, and they turn it into fuel. When you look at the most successful people in the world, the ones who have built empires, the ones who have left a legacy, the ones who have risen against all odds, you will see one common trait: resilience. They did not escape failure. They did not have an easy road to success. In fact, most of them failed more times than they succeeded. They faced rejection after rejection. They heard no more times than they can count. They lost money, lost opportunities, lost time, but they did not stop. They did not quit. They did not allow one closed door to make them forget the doors that were still waiting to be opened. They took their losses and turned them into stepping stones. They learned from every mistake, adjusted their strategy, sharpened their skills, and came back stronger than before. When you fail, it is easy to feel like that moment defines you. It is easy to believe that because something didn't work out, it means you are not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But failure is not proof that you are incapable. Failure is proof that you are in the arena, that you are taking risks, that you are pushing yourself beyond what is comfortable and familiar. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try, the ones who play it safe, who stay in the background, who never dare to chase something greater. But if you want to win in life, if you want to reach your highest potential, you have to be willing to face failure head on, to take every setback and use it as motivation to push even harder. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Every time you fail, you are learning something new. You are discovering what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. You are strengthening your character, your discipline, your endurance. You are being prepared for something bigger, something greater than you even realize. But too often, people allow failure to break them instead of build them. They let one disappointment convince them that they are not worthy of success. They allow one rejection to make them give up on their dream. They take failure personally instead of seeing it as an opportunity to grow. But if you shift your perspective, if you start to see failure as a teacher instead of an enemy, think about the times in your life when you faced failure. Maybe you started a business and it didn't take off the way you expected. Maybe you applied for a job and never got the call back. Maybe you invested time, energy, and love into a relationship that didn't work out. In the moment, It felt like a loss. It felt like defeat. It felt like all your effort was wasted. But was it? Look back now. Look at what you learned. Look at how much stronger, how much wiser, how much more resilient you became because of that experience. Failure doesn't take anything from you. It gives you something. It gives you experience. It gives you knowledge. It gives you the wisdom to move smarter, the strength to push harder, the clarity to make better decisions. The key is to refuse to let failure make you bitter. Refuse to let it make you give up on yourself. Refuse to let it steal your confidence, your ambition, your fire. The people who win in life are the ones who get back up after every fall, who keep swinging even when they've missed 100 times, who refuse to let any setback be the final chapter of their story. You have to develop that kind of mindset, that kind of unshakable determination that says, I don't care how many times I fail, I am still going to win. Because every loss, every mistake, every delay is setting you up for the victory that is already written for you. You have to train your mind to see failure differently. You have to stop letting it discourage you and start letting it motivate you. When something doesn't work out, don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. Don't sit in disappointment, replaying the moment over and over again in your head. Get up and get back to work. Take what you learned and apply it. Make adjustments. Try again with more knowledge, more wisdom, more strategy. Every failure is another step forward if you use it correctly. The people who win are the ones who refuse to stay down, who take every no and turn it into a reason to push harder, who understand that success is not about never falling, it's about always rising. You were not meant to live in defeat. You were not created to be held back by failure. You are more powerful than the obstacles in front of you, more resilient than the challenges you face, more capable than you even realize. But you have to decide that no failure, no setback, no rejection will stop you. You have to make up your mind that every time you fall, you will rise higher. Every time you lose, you will come back stronger. Every time life knocks you down, you will stand up with even greater determination, because winners don't dwell on failure. They turn it into fuel and they keep moving forward. Your mindset determines your outcome. When you decide you don't lose, life has no choice but to align with that belief. Everything begins in the mind. The way you think about yourself, the way you see your challenges, the way you respond to setbacks, all of it determines where you end up in life. Some people go through life feeling like they are victims, like life is happening to them, like they have no control over their future. But winners, successful people, the ones who rise above every challenge, they don't think that way. They don't allow their circumstances to dictate their mindset. They make a decision deep within themselves that no matter what happens, no matter what obstacles they face, they will not be defeated. They don't lose, they win. And when you operate from that level of belief, life has no choice but to align with it. The way you see yourself sets the standard for what you will accept. If you believe you are not good enough, if you believe you don't have what it takes, if you believe that success is for other people but not for you, then you will live a life that reflects those beliefs. But if you shift your mindset, if you start believing that you are worthy of greatness, that you have the power to overcome anything, that setbacks are not the end but simply detours leading you to something greater, then you will start to see doors open, opportunities appear, and victories unfold in ways you never imagined. People who win in life don't wait for permission to succeed. They don't wait for someone else to tell them they are good enough. They don't allow failure to make them question their worth. They make a decision that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times they have to try, no matter what challenges they face, they will succeed. That kind of mindset is what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. It's not about luck. It's not about having everything handed to you. It's about making a choice every single day to believe in yourself, to push forward, to refuse to be discouraged by temporary setbacks. Every great success story started with a mindset shift. The people who have accomplished extraordinary things were not necessarily the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. They were the ones who refused to give up. They were the ones who trained their minds to see possibilities instead of limitations. They were the ones who decided that no matter how many obstacles stood in their way, they would not be stopped. That level of belief is powerful. It shapes the way you move, the way you speak, the way you respond to challenges. It changes everything. Your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you are failing, that things will never change, that you are stuck, then your actions will follow that belief. You will hesitate. You will doubt yourself. You will sabotage your own success without even realizing it. But when you start to speak differently, when you start to affirm your power, when you wake up every day declaring that you are a winner, that no obstacle is too big, that no setback can break you, something shifts. You start to walk differently. You start to take action with confidence. You start to see solutions instead of problems. You start to attract opportunities that align with your belief system. You can't afford to let negativity take root in your mind. You can't afford to dwell on doubt, fear, or past failures. Every thought you entertain is shaping your future. Every word you speak is either pushing you closer to success or pulling you further away from it. That's why you have to be intentional about what you allow into your mind. Stop repeating the story of your past failures. Stop letting disappointment shape your vision of the future. Stop listening to people who tell you that you can't do it. The only thing that matters is what you believe about yourself. And you have to decide right now that you are capable of achieving everything you desire. Winning starts with a decision, starts with a mindset that refuses to accept defeat. It starts with a kind of belief that says, no matter how many times I fall, I will get back up. No matter how many times I hear no, I will keep going until I get my yes. No matter how hard it gets, I will not quit. That is the mindset that leads to victory. That is the mindset that turns obstacles into stepping stones. That is the mindset that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. You have to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect set of circumstances. You have to stop letting fear hold you back from stepping into your greatness. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a moment where everything is easy, where success just falls into your lap. You have to make the decision now, in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of doubt, that you are going to win. And when you make that decision, you have to back it up with action. You have to show up every day with the mindset of a winner. You have to move like someone who already knows that success is inevitable. You have to speak like someone who refuses to accept anything less than victory. Your mind is your greatest asset. It can either work for you or against you. It can either push you toward your dreams or keep you stuck in fear and doubt. And the beautiful thing is, you get to choose. You get to decide what kind of mindset you will operate from. You get to choose whether you will allow failure to defeat you or whether you will use it as fuel. You get to choose whether you will dwell on past mistakes or whether you will use them as lessons to propel you forward. The power is in your hands, and the moment you take control of your thoughts, everything else in your life will start to shift. Success is not about luck. It is not about being in the right place at the right time. It is about mindset. It is about waking up every day and deciding that no matter what comes your way, you will keep pushing forward. It is about knowing deep within yourself that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. It is about refusing to be discouraged by temporary setbacks, refusing to let fear stop you, refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. That is the mindset of a winner. That is the belief system that will take you to the next level. That is the kind of thinking that will turn your dreams into reality. Setbacks are just setups for a greater comeback. Every loss is a lesson pushing you closer to your breakthrough. Life has a way of testing you, of knocking you down, of throwing obstacles in your path when you least expect them. It's easy to feel like setbacks are signs that you should quit, that failures are proof you are not meant to succeed, that obstacles mean you are on the wrong path. But winners, the people who rise above every challenge, the ones who create legacies and build success that lasts, they don't see setbacks as the end. They don't let failure define them. They understand that every loss, every challenge, every disappointment is simply a lesson pushing them closer to their breakthrough. When you look at the most successful people in the world, the ones who have built something from nothing, the ones who have achieved things most people only dream about, you will see that their journey was never smooth. They faced rejection. They faced failures that could have broken them. They had moments when everything seemed to fall apart, when they lost money, lost opportunities, lost relationships, when nothing seemed to go in their favor. But the reason they succeeded is not because they avoided failure. It's because they refused to stay down. They refused to let a setback become their final chapter. They used every loss as a lesson, every disappointment as motivation, every failure as fuel to push even harder. Your setback is not a stop sign. It is not the universe telling you that you can't do it. It is not a message that you should give up. Your setback is a setup for something greater. It is teaching you what you need to know to succeed at a higher level. It is strengthening you, preparing you, shaping you into the person who can handle the victory that is ahead. Because success, it's not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. If you had everything handed to you, if success came easy, if you never had to struggle, you would not develop the wisdom, the resilience, the strength to maintain it. But when you go through failure and keep going, when you face disappointment and keep pushing, when you lose and refuse to stay down, that is when you build the mindset, the discipline, the character that allows you to win. Every time you face a setback, you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can sit in self-pity, replaying what went wrong over and over again in your mind, or you can get back up, learn the lesson, and move forward with even more determination. Winners choose the second option. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't let temporary disappointment become permanent defeat. They don't let one failure make them forget who they are and what they are capable of achieving. They take every loss and turn it into wisdom. They take every challenge and use it to make them stronger. They understand that setbacks are simply part of the process, part of the journey, part of what makes success even more rewarding. Think about the times in your life when you faced a setback. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted. Maybe a relationship you invested in didn't work out. Maybe you put time, energy, and effort into something and it didn't go the way you planned. In that moment, it felt like a loss. It felt like a step backward. But look at where you are now. Look at the lessons you learned. Look at how much stronger, wiser, more resilient you became because of that experience. What seemed like a failure at the time was actually preparing you for something greater. What felt like a loss was actually redirecting you toward something better. What looked like a setback was actually setting you up for a breakthrough you couldn't see yet. That is why you cannot afford to give up. You cannot afford to let temporary disappointment make you abandon your dreams. You cannot allow one loss to make you forget the vision that is in your heart. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep believing. You have to trust that even when things don't go as planned, even when life throws challenges your way, even when you don't see the results yet, you are still being prepared for something greater. There will be times when you question whether it's worth it. Times when you wonder if you should keep going or if you should just accept where you are. Times when the weight of disappointment feels too heavy, when the frustration of not seeing progress makes you want to walk away. But those are the moments when you have to dig deep. Those are the moments when you have to remind yourself that setbacks are temporary, that failure is not the end, that every obstacle is just another step on the road to your success. Those are the moments when you have to choose faith over fear, determination over doubt, resilience over retreat. You have come too far to give up now. You have faced too many challenges, overcome too many obstacles, pushed through too much to let one setback make you quit. You have to trust that your breakthrough is coming. You have to believe that every loss, every failure, every challenge is shaping you, molding you, preparing you for the success that is ahead. The journey may not always be easy, but it is always worth it, because when you refuse to give up, when you refuse to stay down, when you refuse to let setbacks stop you, success is inevitable. The most powerful thing you can do in the face of a setback is to keep moving forward. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep believing in yourself. Take every lesson, every disappointment, every failure, and use it as fuel. Use it to push harder, to be smarter, to be more determined than ever before. Because one day you will look back and realize that every single setback was actually setting you up for something greater than you ever imagined. One day you will understand that the losses were necessary, that the failures were part of the foundation, that the disappointments were preparing you for a level of success you never even saw coming. And when that day comes, you will be grateful that you never gave up. You will be grateful that you kept pushing. You will be grateful that you believed in yourself even when things didn't go as planned, because every setback is just a setup for a greater comeback. Winners see possibilities where others see obstacles, Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable. Life will always present challenges, and the way you choose to see them determines whether you rise or whether you remain stuck. Some people look at an obstacle and see a reason to quit, an excuse to stop trying, a confirmation of their doubts. Others see the same obstacle and recognize it as an opportunity, a test of their resilience, a stepping stone to something greater. The difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't is not their circumstances, but their mindset. It is their ability to see possibility where others see limitation, to find a way when others give up, to believe in their own power even when everything around them suggests otherwise. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory and every defeat begins. Before you win in the world, you have to win in your mind. Before you overcome an obstacle in your life, you have to overcome it in your thoughts. If you tell yourself something is impossible, you have already lost the battle before you even begin. But if you look at a challenge and tell yourself, I will figure this out, I will find a way, I will turn this into an advantage, then you have already positioned yourself for success. Because your thoughts determine your actions, and your actions determine your results. If you approach every challenge with the mindset of a winner, you will find solutions. You will adapt, you will learn, you will grow, and you will come out on the other side stronger than before. There are people who face circumstances far worse than yours and still found a way to win. There are people who started with nothing, who encountered rejection after rejection, who faced failure after failure and still turned their dreams into reality. They did not succeed because life was easy for them. They succeeded because they refused to be defeated by their obstacles. They saw every challenge as an opportunity to grow. They saw every setback as a lesson. They used every difficulty as fuel to push even harder. And because of that mindset, they achieved what others believed was impossible. The way you respond to difficulty defines your future. When life challenges you, do you shrink back or do you rise up? When things don't go as planned, do you complain or do you adjust and keep moving? When you face a setback, do you give up or do you find a way to turn it into a setup for something greater? Winners know that their greatest growth comes from their greatest challenges. They know that their strength is built in the struggle. They know that the very things that seem like obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. It is easy to look at your challenges and feel overwhelmed. It is easy to let doubt creep in, to let fear take over, to start believing that maybe you are not meant to succeed. But that is when you have to remind yourself who you are. That is when you have to shift your perspective. That is when you have to tell yourself, this is not the end, this is a test. This is an opportunity to grow. This is a moment where I get to prove to myself just how strong, just how powerful, just how unstoppable I really am. Because that is the truth. You are not defined by your obstacles. You are defined by how you respond to them. You are defined by your ability to rise no matter how many times life knocks you down. When you change the way you see challenges, you change the way you respond to them. And when you change the way you respond to them, you change the outcome. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, start seeing them as detours leading you to something even better. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you are not good enough, start seeing it as feedback, as information that will help you move smarter, move stronger, move wiser next time. Instead of seeing difficulty as a reason to give up, start seeing it as a reason to push harder. because that shift in mindset is what separates the people who win from the people who settle. You have to make a decision that no matter what life throws at you, you will not be stopped. You have to make a decision that every challenge you face will only make you stronger. You have to make a decision that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way, you will keep going. Because that kind of mindset is what creates unstoppable people. That kind of mindset is what builds champions. That kind of mindset is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. The truth is, life is not always going to be easy. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when everything seems to be working against you. There will be challenges that test your faith, that push you to your limits, that make you wonder if you even have what it takes to keep going. But in those moments, you have to remember why you started. You have to remember that you are capable of more than you think. You have to remember that every great success story includes moments of struggle, moments of doubt, moments where it seemed like nothing was working. But the people who make it to the top are the ones who refuse to let those moments define them. They refuse to give up. They refuse to let obstacles stop them. They refuse to settle for anything less than what they know they are capable of achieving. You have everything you need inside of you to overcome whatever challenge you are facing. You have the strength, the wisdom, the resilience, the determination to push through. But you have to believe that. You have to remind yourself every single day that you are not here to be defeated. You are here to win. You are here to rise. You are here to take every challenge and turn it into an opportunity. Because when you start seeing obstacles that way, everything changes. When you start treating challenges as opportunities for growth instead of reasons to quit, you will start to see doors open. You will start to attract solutions. You will start to move with a confidence, a power, a determination that makes success inevitable. It is not the easy moments that define you. It is not the smooth seasons of life that make you strong. It is the challenges. It is the moments when you have to dig deep. It is the times when you have to push through fear, push through doubt, push through failure, and keep going anyway. Those are the moments that shape you. Those are the moments that prepare you for everything you have been working toward. Those are the moments when you grow into the person who can handle the success that is coming your way. Winners don't run from challenges. They don't avoid obstacles. They don't sit around wishing life were easier. They rise to the occasion. They embrace the difficulty. They step up and face every challenge head on, knowing that on the other side of it is growth, is wisdom, is success beyond anything they have imagined. They know that no matter what life throws at them, they have what it takes to overcome it. They know that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever before.